Chapter 9, Service Coordination. Although case managers have been providers of direct services in the past, one of the most important responsibilities of case managers today is the coordination of services. Rarely can one person or one agency meet all of the needs of a client. Because of this, the case manager will locate needed resources in the community, arrange for the client to use them, and support the client in using them. Once the case manager and client have agreed upon a plan, then the case manager will locate appropriate resources and make referrals to service providers. The case manager is responsible for documenting throughout the process and should also monitor service delivery to ensure the client's needs are being met. While coordinating services, the case manager maintains working relationships with other professionals. Good communication skills are vital during this process. Case managers often represent their agencies or organizations during service coordination. Maintaining appropriate professional communication with service providers will help meet the needs of the client and any future clients that might require the services of that professional. Selecting resources involves identifying individuals, programs, or agencies that can meet a client's identified needs. The selection process can accommodate many alternatives and can tailor services to the client's unique circumstances. The case manager must be aware of the client's preferences, strengths, and values in order to incorporate them in selecting services. Making the referral is the first step in the process. A referral involves matching client needs with resources, which may be within the agency or at another agency. There may be some limitations on services a case manager can personally provide. This will depend on policy, rules, regulations, and structure. The case manager's expertise and personal values may also be factors. Referrals may fail for three general reasons: the case manager's insensitivity to client needs, referral to the wrong resource, and misjudging the client's capability to follow through on the referral. The case manager also must determine what role he or she will play in the referral process. To ensure a successful referral, the case manager can use the following strategies. First, discuss with the client the services that resource will provide. Second, make the referral, which will likely require more than just providing the client's contact information. Third, be responsive when a referral doesn't go as planned. The case manager may have to act as a mobilizer and work with other community members to develop new resources for clients. Fourth, share the referral information with the client. And last, follow up on the referral. The case manager's role in the referral process will vary based on the client's capabilities. Another element of the service coordination process involves monitoring services. This involves more than following up on a contact. It can mean offering information, intervening in a crisis, or making another referral. When monitoring services, the case manager reviews the services received by the client, any conditions that may have changed since the planning phase, and the extent of progress toward the goals and objectives stated in the plan. If there are problems with service delivery, the case manager is ultimately responsible for intervening. Part of service monitoring also involves staying informed of changes that occur in the client's life. In addition,